There is a building in downtown Cleveland which has a huge amount of history. This place in my Ohio has been a place of prayer and of celebration and of deep mourning. Even here, family members of a murdered president gathered. It is the oldest building on Cleveland's public square. It has watched prayerfully. The old stone church on Cleveland's public square has stood reverently overseeing a city. Beneath its steeple have come many generations of congregations. Old Stone, home to Cleveland's second oldest religious congregation, and oldest building on the city's public square. Since 2008, pastor, the Reverend Dr. Mark Giuliano, has served among historic wooden pews and stained glass windows, often looking up.
Before electricity, so we skylit the place.
All up there.
And by we, I don't mean me. I'm really not that old.
The church began in 1820 in a small building, First Presbyterian. 35 years later came this building made of stone, hewn out of a Northeast Ohio quarry. Then the name Old Stone Church, First Presbyterian, took hold and still holds at a corner of Ontario Street, Cleveland's east-west dividing line.
And so we like to think of Old Stone as historically and currently as a place where the city can meet. People just come through open doors and explore the place. Some people come in simply to pray.
Others come for various public meetings. In a room set aside for such gatherings, today city leaders and citizens discuss safety issues. But Old Stone is overwhelmingly a religious place. In its 160 years as Public Square's oldest address, it has both celebrated and cried. In 1865, when President Abraham Lincoln was assassinated, they brought the body all the way from Washington, D.C. to southern Illinois. Along the way, the funeral train stopped at several American cities. Cleveland was one of the stops. Outside these doors of Old Stone Church at Public Square, the president's body lay in state. And inside this building, Old Stone Church, there was a funeral. The Lincoln family was here, as were many other mourners for Abraham Lincoln. Outside, 100,000 people filed by the president's casket during its Cleveland stop. Inside, every pew was filled with mourners. Others sit today under the same ceiling. One of the church pews from that day still exists.
And the pew we're sitting in right now, we call the Lincoln Pew.
A historic church from the pews up and down. This is part of the church foundation, a puzzle of pipes and beams below ground. Few people have seen where remnants of the original 1820 foundation are fused with that of 1855, even showing burn traces of a long ago fire.
There's been two fires.
Many years ago.
Right. Yeah. One in about 1855, and the other one was, I think, 1830.
The Old Stone has one foot in the 19th and the other in the 21st century. In today's world, Pastor Giuliano records some of his internet video moments here, where church video producer Ken Latimer handles things technical.
In the digital world, bringing the message outside of the walls of the Old Stone Church.
But the message remains the same.
It stays the same.
Old Stone Church began when farm animals grazed lazily on the town's public square, when Cleveland was but a dot on the map. From its prime seat, the oldest building on the square has watched a city grow.
Skyscrapers around us, and there's Old Stone, still there, still standing like a rock in the heart of this city.
From top of its steeple, Old Stone viewed what was on the horizon. Other structures have elbowed in, putting their heads in the clouds. But you get the feeling none reaches as high as Cleveland's Old Stone Church. Although it is a tourist attraction, there are regularly scheduled religious services, and every Thursday in Lent, a noon organ recital. It has seen much from its vantage point, this church on Cleveland's public square.
A real treasure. Thanks, Leon.